Hello world, WayofTime here, bringing to you... Why is there a sheep up there? Bringing to you another episode of EEPower. So, I'm getting things prepared for our frame machine build, and... somewhere else. Getting my stuff ready for a frame machine build, and it stopped coming back. And I seem to not be able to get these sheep away from me. Maybe I'm such a sheep magnet, though that is a little sheep of me. So, I'll probably need to get a lot of smooth stone. We're going to need a bit of nickelite. Probably going to need quite a bit of that stuff. Yes, stuff. That's very helpful. And we'll probably just need a bit of processing before we have everything ready. Now, I do have my age set up, so I'll be able to show you that once we actually get things started. So, I guess I'll meet you in the age after I get everything a little merry. Ho, ho, ho. Yeah. Okay, I think overall we're pretty ready. So let's hop into our age 14. This is the one I set up. It's a flat world, and it is meadows. And I took care to, since I might as well do it right away, put it so that I have a nice defined boundary of what we're going to be doing first. So as you can see, we have all four corners laid out. Now, the whole purpose of actually marking out these boundaries is because in these four corners lie 9 chunks. So these 9 chunks are basically going to say where our first quarry operation is, because we can only chunk load 9 chunks at a time with only one chunk loader. So I think it's a good idea to do that. Now, there are quite a bit of animals where we're working, so what I think I'm going to do is go over here so that we can start a small little work area and make sure that we don't have all of these cluckers around. And we're probably going to need to make a chest with all of their innards. That'd be very gruesome. Very gruesome sight to see. So I'll be right back once I get most of our work area started, and then we'll be off to the races. Obviously, we're not going to have anything spectacular in here, but at least enough to get by. This nickelite, I think we'd actually be best off to go back to our main base and gather some battery boxes. How many battery boxes can we make with this? We might be able to make 4. Then again, we do have a lot of stacks of nickelite, so it's best to make almost a game of it. So nickelite, let's see, batteries. We are going to need copper and tin, and our copper recipe has changed, or rather our copper has changed. So unless it actually recognizes it does recognize Ore Dictionary. That's great. So we're going to need a multiple of 4 batteries, and we have a multiple of 10 right now, so let's get another stack and we should be good. Okay, that is enough for 5 battery boxes. So 5 here. And I believe the battery box uses this plan. And wood at the top, right? Yes, okay, so that'll be enough. We'll just need a bit more wood. Throw the wood in, and let's see, we only made 1 of them. Why is that? The recipe is there. Oh, it's probably because of the plan being in there. Derp. There we go. So 5 battery boxes should be enough for all of our planning. And we're probably going to want to get rid of some of this excess material, since it's not necessarily going to be necessary. Anyways, let's actually start on trying to figure out how we can both A, get our quarry as small as possible, and B, how we're going to be able to control it once everything's moving. So this is the positive Z direction, and this is the positive X direction. So that means the axis will be something like that, with the Z in there and the X in that direction. So I'm thinking having the quarry facing this direction, in a sense, will probably be the best way to do things. So we're going to have to build a little high. And I wish we had a very reliable mode of flight transportation, but if this is all we have, that's all we're going to be able to do. We're going to have to build a few levels of where we're going and keep this on so we don't fall to our deaths, because death would kind of be sucky right now. So let's make a 5x5 platform, because I want to try to get everything in that size of vehicle. That size of vehicle, yes. That blueprint. Or footprint, yes. Footprint's the key word there. So let's actually grab and let's take it off of hover mode. Oh, we already had it on non-hover mode. There we go. There we go. And let's put it back on hover mode just in case we do something stupid. Okay, so we got a 5 footprint, and we should make sure that our tools are in our hands. So making a few of these should be good. So we're going to need both covers and panels, so we should get some panels as well. It's a pain. Oh, I'm losing my touch. Okay, so we got those. We got the frames in our hand. We don't need this. We're probably going to need battery boxes at our disposal. And let's try to figure out some sort of engine drive that we're going to need. Now, because of the change of mechanics, we forgot one very special materials tool, rather. Let's hope we don't need our sword at any time. Okay, so the main thing that's different in this is the fact, basically, my engine drive was like this, where both of the engines were facing each other. Now, the problem is, blue electric cabling and blue electric energy does not flow through the whatever this thing is called, the face of it. So we got to face it, and we won't be able to have this type of engine drive. So we're going to have to think of some other drive to be able to move. Also, it'd be good to have a buffer of energy. So let's think for a moment. Okay, what I'm thinking is that we'll have the first engine. We'll put it here. Put a panel here. We're going to have the bat box go here, and this here. Yeah, I think this is good. So let's try to orient these first of all so we can get an idea of how everything will be going. So we'll have it like this. So this engine will be the primary motor, so it'll do its initial movement, pushing the entire frame structure. Now, for simplicity, we'll put these and attach them to the frame. So this is doing the initial movement. This block stays where everything else moves, and effectively it gets moved into this position. So from here, it can't do anything. Any power going to here won't do squat. But then this motor will fire and send this motor back, resetting it. So it's kind of like a primary motor drive in the fact that the initial movement moves the frame engine, or moves the frame structure, instead of the second movement. So originally what I had it before was it was these pretty much together. This one pushed it out, then this one moved it back into position, moving the frame. But this one time this goes first, and thus it shouldn't be able to jam. Now this battery box is obviously going to need to have some batteries. So probably what we should do is actually get a quasi-charging station down there. So to do that, we're going to need to craft some solar panels. 4 should do, though we should probably create 8 to be very quick and we're going to need some batteries, or we can just use battery boxes. Yeah, let's actually use battery boxes instead of full-on batteries because it's less of a problem. So let's see, we're going to need to have 64 wafers, so 2 of these, or is it 4? 4 of these and 64 wafers, therefore we're going to need 4 stacks of nickelite. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah, man, these solar panels are very expensive, so we'll have to have these going on. It'll be a while before everything is nice and handy and dandy and etc. So what I think I'm going to do is disconnect this and add the other battery box. So here we go. Now this battery box is filled, these are empty, this is going to start getting charged. And because this should be enough to handle 1 alloy furnace, everything should be okay. This should start getting charged up and we'll have a surplus of energy. So we'll use this battery box to charge that we have in my hand, and then we should be able to test if our engine actually works. So for this, we're going to actually need to stop saying actually because it's starting to get annoying, but we're going to need quite a bit of levers for this to work. So 8 levers shall be good. Goodness, I'm almost said sufficient. I say that too many times. It should be sufficient. Derp-a-derp-a-derp. Okay, where is it? There it is. Big pillar of stone here. So let's switch out this battery box with this one. And we obviously don't want transposers. We'll put that there. Instead, put that there, and we're going to need some levers. So let's get our levers. So this should move first. And then this move. This. This. Okay, so this is actually working. We actually moved a bit. As you can see, that's attached, and now we moved good enough. So let's move that once more, and then now we can just have a nice little place to rest our eyes, or something. I don't know. Okay, so we got one of those down. We're going to need, and it's for this direction, and that is what direction? The negative Z direction. So we're going to need, obviously, a positive Z direction, but since we have room here, another thing that we're actually going to need to think of is where we're going to place the cables. Even though I hate doing 2 blocks tall, this is probably what we're going to have to do for this. Now we're going to need panels so that they can stay attached, and we're probably going to need a frame roof. So let's put the roof on. For now that's good, and we're going to have mock wires almost there and in other locations. We don't actually have any wires with us, so we're going to have to almost visualize them unless we do some other fancy work in the meantime. So let's think of our other engine. This engine moves that direction, so we'll try putting it in that direction for the other one, and it should be a simple case of just putting this cover here, putting this here, battery box here, and this here. And rotate it such, shift clicking for awesomeness, and gonna need to put this upside down and face the right direction. So this battery, this thing should move over that direction. Now obviously it's not actually sharing energy between the two. Why is a bat up there? Oh wait, it's probably an influx of flux. Haha, influx of flux. Sigh. Anyways, these 2 battery boxes aren't sharing any energy, but there is a possibility to actually have them share energy. So what I think we can do is add some sort of wire right here. And let's actually put a ring around this area so we can walk freely around, even though we will eventually, obviously, get rid of this. We should take that out. And then just simply put a ring around, so walking freely, la 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 la. Okay, there we go. So this ring should go with us, and we shouldn't fall off anytime soon. Hopefully. Then again, I never know what will happen with me. Anyway, so if we put a wire, blue electric wire here, energy should be shared from here to the motor, and since it's the side, not one of the tops, it'll be able to go to the battery box and in turn go to its two motors. So having a battery box with every set of motors should be able to be nice. Yes, nice. That's very good. Okay, let's see if we're going to need to grab the blue alloy anyways to make the solar panels. So let's see if this is actually done. It's almost done, and this is actually gaining some energy, so we're actually at a surplus of energy. So where are my blue alloy? There it is. We're going to need one of those there, and we're going to need to craft one set of some, what is it, jacketed cable? Stone jacketed blue wire. There we go. So we'll use this to be able to connect the batteries together. And since it's very convenient, we'll just do this. We'll substitute that. We'll take all of those. All of them. And then we got our solar panels. We will need more stone wires later, but this should be enough to at least test a bit. So we'll go in and continue our charging bonanza. Oops, okay. Place. And we'll charge these up. Eventually these solar panels we'll just place them on the frame machine once we actually have a roof on it, and once we decide how we're going to get everything else. Okay, so let's go up and place our solitary wire, and it should drop its voltage and then take energy out of the box and thus power up these two motors. It might put a bit of energy in here, though there's no reason to once it completely stabilizes. I'm not too sure on all of the physics of it, but that's pretty much how I remember it. So next what we'll do is once again attach it so that we can test whether this works. Okay, that works. And here, hey, I decided here. Thank you. Okay, so that works. What if we keep them both on? Nope. Not gonna work. Okay, let's turn that off. Let's turn this off. Let's stop wasting energy. Take them off. Did we happen to encroach on that? Whew, just barely. We had 2 blocks of clearance. Okay, so now that they're nice and charged up, we pretty much have all the energy that's going to be shared between them. They're nice to share, and we're going to need some... Maybe we should get some white wires to at least determine whether we have some space. And not just white wires, we might need to get some bundled cabling and make sure that everything's alright. So let's get 2 sets of white wires. And there we go. So 2 sets. And I think we're going to need to grab some string. Though, is there an easy way to make string with alchemy? Let's see. String, string, string. String, how do I make the... Through that, that, no. Macerate. Wait, how much do I get for maceration? 1 piece of string. Get real. Okay, so obviously that's a little out of the question. So we'll make the bundled cables after we get another yield of some hemp. We can go with hemp. Then again, Flower Child might kill me if I say hemp. Or kill Elaram, I'm not too sure. Okay, so we're also going to need to cut these stone covers a bit so that we have some nice dividers, so some cover strips, so that the wires don't actually intersect and we're still going to be able to walk around. So keep in mind these wires are going to change. They're not all going to be all white because I have better sense than that. So anyways, there's going to be a wire here. That'll be the primary wire for this one. And it's going to need to be separated so that we'll have a primary wire for this one. And there will probably be bundled cables here. And let's put a cover strip here so that it doesn't in any way interfere with this one when it's in rest position. Even though it won't actually move, we want to make sure. So, now for the secondary wires, we're going to need one here, cover strip here. If you actually allow me to, thanks. There we go. And did I lose a cover strip? No, I didn't. Okay, so wire there for that wire, and we're going to need one for here as well. So place and a wire here. So we're going to have a bundled cable here and a bundled cable here and a bundled cable here and probably here so that we can get that one as well. Wow, it's really hard to tell when they're all the same colors. Maybe, do we have any reliable source of dye? No, we don't. So that's going to be, actually we probably do. Let's not be lazy. You can probably grab a bunch of red and yellow dye from the fields, which is an easy enough endeavor to do, and then just make sure that we borrow it and transmute it into good colors. Then we can just color some of our wires. That means we will need to have some sort of chest nearby. Now let's actually stick a chest here so that we can get everything. That'll be good. So we'll place all of our stuff in here, and basically stuff that will be needed for the build specifically, like all the tubes and etc. And we will need the frame motors, but let's keep all that stuff in nice and tidy. We'll make some dye, transmute it to at least the first few wires, because if we check the wiring, we have to, might as well get the first few ones because it'll be a pain in the ass later to code. Ooh, that's fully charged. Be right back. Okay, we got a smidgen of dyes. I think this should be good. So we should probably just change it so that we get all the colors that we need. We'll take this out. So color those. We're going to want to color these. Color these. We'll get all the major colors that we need. We got pink. Do we have magenta? We have magenta, but we have pink. Do we have light blue? We got yellow and lime, so we should have all the ones that we need. At least for now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got some yellow as well. 6. This should be all the ones we need for now. So orange we'll keep for now, and magenta and light blue so that we can get everything else. So orange, magenta, light blue. Good. So let's place the orange ones. This will be for... Okay, white will be this direction, and orange will be these. So this will at least avoid some of the confusion. So once that's out of the way, now that that's out of the way, we can put our next engine, that's what I was looking for, which we'll put for this direction. Now, there's going to be bundled cables here, so that means we are going to have to force it so that it's here instead. Which might be a bother, but we'll wait and see how that turns out. So, we got that, and we'll just orient this down. There we go. And orient this down, and we'll have it go to the right. And this go to the right as well. They're all connected. Now, we'll probably, we're going to need a frame here as well to make sure that this is connected while moving, because obviously it can't connect to either the battery box or underneath, and this space will be taken. So that's good. That is obviously not connected. And also, we can use some of our wiring and connect them over here so that we got some shared battery power as well. And all of those parts are connected, yada yada yada. Okay, so now that that's there, we're going to wire this as our magenta. So magenta here, and it'll need to be here, so let's move that. And here. Good. And because there will be a bundled wire here and here, it will be able to connect, and we should be good. Now we got energy there, and it should all work. Now the only thing that we need to test with this arrangement is actually see whether everything stays connected. So let's get our 2 levers, And if this movement works, they should all work, technically. Okay, that worked. And that is going to be annoying, I can tell. Let's just move it anyways. There we go. It works. And making sure everything's connected. Yes, it is. Now for the last one. Okay, that's gonna be fun once we get that done. Okay, so now that everything's connected for now, we still have one other major direction we need to go. We need to go that way. So maybe what we can do is the bundled wires are here. You know, what we could do is, no, we don't want to use all the dye. Doesn't really matter if we used all the dye, actually, so let's use our lime to represent our bundled wire. And all the wires would be connected, and there'd be some wire connecting those two. And we're good. Okay, so now that those are done, we're going to need to make sure that we have a way for this direction. So if we look at it, we might want to place it here, battery box, and here. And that'll give access to both this wire, this one, and this one, since the frames will be on top, like so. We got all the frames, good. This will be here, and these will be here. Can you please go in the correct place? Please, thanks. Okay. And that is good. So let's orient this. Good thing we didn't pass it this time. And those are actually in the right direction, so all we need to do is actually put the wires down. So one here and one here. They will all be connected to the bundle wire. So, and one other thing we forgot is that we need to have the frame connected here so that this stays attached as well. So it doesn't look like we have any unneeded frames right now, for reference. Haha, see what we don't have any unneeded frames. It looks like everything is remaining connected. Might need to do some odd things like block that. No, that won't be necessary. And we'll need a wave. Okay, so the only confusing part is the fact that we don't have any bundled cables right now, which we need. We definitely do need bundled cables, and we're going to actually need to wire this up. So what we need to do is have the wire go out here and here, but then it means that none of this is connected. That's easily remedied by placing a frame here. So now both halves are connected. So we're going to need to make more stone jacketed wires. And we're probably going to need a lot more of those. I'll cut up some more of these. And perhaps we'll make some bundled cables as well. Yeah, I'll just sit in front of my hemp. I don't want to be hemped in. Yeah, that was bad. Wrong direction. Man, I love hemp. It's just so amazing. Woo, string, string, string. Okay, so once we got our theory of string down, where is my red alloy? Don't tell me. Are you up here? Yes, you are. No! Please, I'll be more kind to you. Did I get you? Yes, I did. Haha, sucker! Okay, so we got our red alloy, and we're going to be able to make a bit more wire with this once I actually locate. Did I drop you? I have no idea what the heck is wrong. Apparently, it took it back. Okay, so now that we actually have our red alloy and more than enough string to choke a giraffe, yeah, I tried. We'll be able to convert some of this into some more wool, and we'll get some more red alloy wires. And then we'll convert all of these, plus one extra, into more than enough bundled cables. Well, I'm saying more than enough for now, but I know pretty much for sure we're going to need more. And okay, so this should be good, and we'll put our minium stone here for now. Going up, and there we go. So, once we got this, we'll take these out, actually connect these like good little children, and get our orange wire here because we're going to need it, and all of our wires are connected. 1, 2, 3, 4, all of them good. And obviously that's going to need a bit of energy, and I forgot to do that. Be right back. Should be enough. So, place this down, and this will finally start charging. Hey, I didn't say you could go there. And we'll get these finally charged up a bit. Now, this is all good and all, but we are going to need to convert some of this bundled joinus into some equally awesome jacked bundled joinus. Hooray! And okay. So we got that. We got 4 of these, so we'll be able to just go like that. And now both of them are connected. And we will be able to walk in currently, though that might need to change depending on what we do over here. Yeah, that will need to change. Okay, so now we need to make sure we can actually access this wire, or rather this wire can be accessed from under. So we'll take this out, we'll take that out as well, and we're going to need to place these here, as well as a frame here, pretty much blocking our access, so everything's connected, and this wire can be basically run through, and we'll be able to use it for the rest of the machine. Because obviously having just 4 directions is kind of sucky, so we will need to work that out. Speaking of which, we will want to get some of our wires back up here. Let's get those away. And all of these extra alloys that we don't need for now. Get that. String, you're probably not needed. Wool no more, and ooh, I actually like that. Whatever. Okay, so what was I going to do? Probably something good. Ah, yes, I was going to destroy this battery box and actually put these solar panels on top of the structure so we can actually have the solar panels on top of the structure. Yes. So we're going to have to find a good place to put it so that the battery box can stay connected as well. So that means this would probably be the best location since it's already connected to a frame. So just peeling this off so that we can put another battery box here. There. And it'll be able to fill the system, and we'll pretty much have more energy. Now, the reason we want to do this is so that we can place a solar panel on top of it, so it can act almost as a wire for all the other remaining solar panels. So let's put more solar panels on, and we're going to need a frame connecting to this solar panel, because otherwise it won't be attached. There we go. So all these are connected, and if we really wanted, no, we won't do that. That'd be stupid, Wade. No, stupid. Stupid! Sorry, was I doing something important? Probably. Okay, so got that, and probably this would be a good area to put some more wires down, because I'm sure we'll need to access the energy some other way. Is there any other place we can do that as well? Probably right here, now that I see it, it'd be a good access point. So we might not use either of these. Well, we are going to need to use one of the wires at least for our energy. Make sure it doesn't stall. But we'll have to cross that bridge when we come to it, when we actually start the other part of this. We're going to need a lot more frames than this when you actually add to the quarry part. And I think the quarry part will do on the ground. So the borehead. So let's actually get some borehead parts down and make sure it lines up. We'll try to get this as a 5x5 structure like it was before. Good. So we're going to need to make 25 block breakers. Thanks to the new tube frames, we'll be able to have it like that, so we'd be able to have a nice wonkavator if we wanted to, just going straight down, eating as much as we want. Okay, so that's gonna be quite a daunting task, and we're gonna have to also trim down the frames to see which ones aren't needed. Honestly, these frames, the ones that are right here with the covers on them, aren't necessary, really. All they are kind of placeholder areas, but they might prove useful. Because the reason we'd want to cut down on the frames is because obviously the more frames or items you have, the more expensive it is to move. Yeah, conservation of energy or whatever the heck you want to call it. Yeah, probably that. Well, it looks like the next part of our machine is going to have to wait a little bit longer to complete. We've run out of time, and we're probably... Yeah, I'm gonna just make 25 block breakers between episodes, and probably another stack of frames. I think only one stack will be necessary, though we're going to have to see once we actually craft this stuff. Well, that's all the time we have for this episode of EEPower. If you like what you see, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe to future episodes. WayofTime here, signing off. Have a wonderful day.